Hi there, Daniel Hall here, progressing, percolating, and evolving, as you can see here. Today, I have something very, very special for you. We're going to be chatting about the best benefits of you becoming an author of a book. Why should you write a book? I'm going to tell you in today's video. Let's jump in. Have a pool right here. Now, a couple things before we get started. First off, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by danielhallwebinars.com/free bonus, where I have 3 PDFs for you. If you're a marketer, if you're an author, if you're a publisher, I actually have a PDF that will walk you through exactly how to set up your very own TV channel called How to Make a TV Channel, which is an Amazon best-selling book, okay, on Amazon Fire TV, as well as on Roku. Plus, if you are a first-time book author, I have a book on all the resources, plus mindset information on being successful and what it takes to be successful. So head on over to danielhallwebinars.com/free bonus and grab that right now. And of course, if you love this kind of content, please do me a favor. Hulk smash that like button. I'd really, really appreciate it. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that. And of course, hit the little bell notification as well, because I've got a lot of great stuff coming your way. And I don't want you to miss not a single thing. First off, I will tell you that there are many huge benefits for writing your own book. And I think that the best sort of mindset to kind of put yourself in when you think about this for yourself actually is best encapsulated by Seth Godin, who is really a marketing legend, and he's very, very wise, especially when it comes to publishing and book marketing. When he said, here's the thing, the book that will most change your life is the book that you write. If you get in that headspace, you'll start to understand why writing a book for yourself is such a great idea. So with that, let's talk specifically about the benefits. The first big benefit you should know about, of course, is royalties. I love the idea of working once and being paid for that work over and over and over and over and over again. And just to kind of illustrate this point, I wanted to just take the example of Harper Lee. Harper Lee, of course, was the author of To Kill a Mockingbird. She did essentially one book in her entire life. And now I'm not equating myself or anyone that would watch this video to Harper Lee. That was an excellent book, of course. But I tell this story to illustrate the potential of royalty income, because Harper Lee basically wrote one book in her entire life, and it became this massive, super classic, best-selling book for years and years and years and years. Now, she lived off that book for basically her entire life, and the amount that book sold actually came to life back in 2009 when she filed some litigation against her literary manager or her literary agent, claiming that he or she had stolen some royalties. And what was interesting is in that suit, she told how much she actually was selling of that book each and every year. And get this, she was selling 750 to 1 million books a year. And when this suit was filed back in 2009, get this, the first 6 months of that year, she had made over $1.68 million in the first 6 months, equating generally to about $9,200 a day, all right, in royalty income. And this went on for years. Consider that. So yes, royalties can be a very, very good benefit, obviously, when you write a book. And even if you don't have a super successful book like that, my book, for example, the How to Speak on Cruise Ships book, published back in 2004, that's made me over $250,000 since it actually got published. So yes, even smaller books can do quite well, could earn you life-changing income. So that's a first big benefit that I wanted to cover with you. Let's go on to another one. A book sets you apart from your competition. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you're a chiropractor, okay? Or any other professional, okay? Or you're in business in some way. You solve problems in exchange for money. You're in business to do something. Well, let's say that you are a chiropractor and you have a chiropractic practice and you have lots of competition in your region. Well, if you are the person with a book, and preferably a best-selling book in that region, well, guess who is going to be head and shoulders thought of above the competition? Why? Because you have a book, right? So here's a great example from a chiropractor, Dr. Jeff Williams in Amarillo, Texas. Again, lots of chiropractors in Amarillo, Texas, but he's the one that pens this book, The Remarkable Truth About Chiropractic, A Unique Journey into the Research. Well, if you're looking and considering whether to go to Dr. Williams or some other chiropractor in Amarillo, Texas, and you understood that Dr. Williams had a book on the subject, well, chances are he would be just a little bit ahead of the competition. All other things being equal, right? So that's one of the things I want you to understand about the reason why you should write a book, because it does in fact set you apart from the competition. And that is a very, very good thing when we live in a very competitive economic environment, right? Set yourself above the competition. Now, the next big benefit of writing your own book is it allows you to pre-sell your expertise. So understand this, there are solutions out there, right? People pay, that's why people give up money. They usually want a solution to one of their problems. And if they read your book, and by virtue of the solutions that you present in that book and how they resonate with those solutions and how you approach the solving of problems, if they resonate with that, guess what? That is pre-selling that reader on your solutions, okay? Such that by the time they do read your book, they sort of self-select, they self-qualify, and when they do pick up the phone to call you or email you or order one of your products, they're already convinced, at least slightly, that you could help them, right? So the cool thing about this, understand this, is that your book goes out into the wild. You write your book, you publish your book, it starts selling out in the marketplace. And the really cool thing is that books take on, or they can take on, a life of their own. You don't know where your book goes or whose hands it actually eventually makes it into, and the lives that can be changed by virtue of that, okay? So that's another great reason why you should get your knowledge out in the form of a book, because it really goes out and helps people, and you don't even have to be there. You only have to do the work once, and all these great things can come back to you because people have found their way back to you through the book. So let's talk about the next great benefit of writing a book. It generates leads, or it can generate leads. That's right, you could actually have offers baked in directly into the pages of your book so that when somebody reads it, they say, oh, I can get onto this person's free email newsletter, or I could go get their free bonuses like I did at the very beginning of this video, right? You can do the same thing. By the way, if you haven't yet checked out danielhallwebinars.com/free bonus, lead generation, right? You're probably convinced at this point, if you've watched this far in the video, that I know what the heck I'm talking about. I could probably help you with other things in your business, right? It's the same thing that could happen in a book, all right? Essentially, it allows you to continue the conversation with them, to continue to build a bond with this group. That's really, really important, because those are the people that when they understand that you, once again, that you could help them, that you are here for them, that yes, you are in business, obviously, nothing wrong with making money, not saying that, but that you've got a good solution for them, and they are more and more convinced because you have this bond with them, you have this way of communicating with them after they have first read your book. Bada bing, super, super valuable, and a great reason, I should say a great additional reason why you should be writing a book. Let's go on to the next reason right now. Another huge benefit of a book, especially if you are new in industry, if you are new in your niche and you want to make an entree, a very powerful entree to influencers in your niche, influencers that can potentially help you build your business, a book is a great way to do that. How so? Well, guess what? You could interview them for your book. You can promote one of their offers, one of their services, one of their products in the resources pages of your book. It gives you an opportunity to reach out and connect and build a bond with influencers in your niche. And this is a great way to do this because you're helping them, right? You're promoting them, and you're doing all of this first, without ever asking them for anything up front. You're not going cap in hand and say, can you please promote my book? Can you please, send an email to your list or whatever. You're not asking them for anything like that. You are first giving to them. And of course, later, it gives you an opportunity to ask for something later. But you've already made a deposit into sort of that psychic bank account, right? Now, the final big benefit of writing a book yourself is it just makes it so much easier for you to get publicity. Because listen, look at newscasters and podcasts and blogs and those types of major media outlets. Who are they usually interviewing? Usually, it's an author. Okay, most times, more times than not, they are interviewing authors. It is much easier, for example, to be granted an interview with a media outlet if you are an author who happens to be a CEO of X versus if you're just CEO of X company, okay? So a book is the vehicle, what actually gets promoted that is acceptable to the media. If it's a book, okay? So yes, you could use a book to do that as well. So I hope I've convinced you of the reasons why you should be writing a book. If you've been on the fence, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below that now you're going to do a book because of this video. And by the way, let me know the title of your book. I'd love to hear the working title of your book. Do that in the comments below. And also, let's say that you do sit down to actually write the manuscript. How on earth do you actually publish it? Well, I have you covered there as well. I have a video for you, how to self-publish your first book, a step-by-step tutorial for beginners. I'll put a link to that somewhere around here or down in the comments or somewhere around here. Okay, so you can check that out. So you've got your book done, it's published on Amazon. Now what? You want it to sell, right? I've got you covered there as well, because I have another video for you called How to Become a Best-Selling Author on Amazon and How to Build a Massive Email List Fast tutorial. Once again, I will put a link to that right up over here so you can get right to it directly or put it in the comments as well. Now, once again, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. And of course, hit the little bell notification, and it would really, really tickle me pink. You see me being tickled pink over here? If you would Hulk smash that like button, it really helps in the YouTube algorithm, and it'll show this video to even more people, and I really would appreciate if you would do that, especially if you do get value from it. Lastly, remember this video is sponsored by my resource pack that is available over at danielhallwebinars.com/5 free bonus, which includes a PDF of my best-selling book, How to Make a TV Channel, that will actually step you through the process of putting up a channel on Roku as well as Amazon Fire TV. Plus, I have an additional PDF for you called Self-Publishing Your First Book, a list of resources. And I have an audiobook version of the great book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Because listen, if your mindset isn't right, if your head isn't screwed on right, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to spin your wheels, okay? So get your head on straight, get your mindset all set for success. And once again, thank you so much for watching. Above all else, remember this: you are put on this planet to help other people. So go out and be the blessing.